Hi, everyone. Hope you're doing well from wherever you're watching this channel, depending on the time zone. Now, senators have been discussing about the pending bills in the counties. There are stalled projects that cannot continue because of those pending bills and other issues. So, beside the main agenda of discussion, Dr. Bonny Khalwale, the Kakamega senator, stood up to mention serious issues that Kenyans are facing through in the hands of the UDA administration. And this one, remember, is the majority whip in the Senate. A man who needs to whip senators to vote or discuss some of the issues or bills in favor of the government. But he was here questioning how Ruto, as the president, Susan Nakhumicha, CS for Health, and the governors are seeing nothing wrong when doctors are carrying twigs and leaves on the street and not being in hospital treating patients. They don't see anything wrong. This was not part of the discussion, but he brought in this issue. Besides this, Khalwale also brought in the discussion about the fake fertilizer. And of course, CS Mithika Linturi was discussed. According to Khalwale, he is urging Mithika Linturi to resign and take responsibility for the mess that we are seeing with the fake fertilizer that farmers were subjected to. That as he speaks at the end of his speech, if Mithika Linturi is the rightful leader, he should have tendered his resignation. But he has not. That was Bonny Khalwale mischievously asking these questions in the Senate. Remember, he's a man who we need to be seeing him trying to defend the government and such things. And you see, for you to understand that there are serious people who are also defending the crooked means of operation that Mithika Linturi is doing here. The Meru senator, who is the deputy speaker, stood in defense of the CS for agriculture. With all measures we have seen, in fact, a deputy speaker who should be non-partisan is now starting to defend the CS for agriculture, forcing Khalwale to withdraw his statement. But still, Khalwale made his point clear. And this is his position as far as the situation of health and agriculture is concerned in this country.
How can we be a country where we see nothing wrong with seeing doctors carrying twigs and leaves in streets when the same doctors are supposed to be in hospital treating people? How can we be a country, Mr. Speaker, where business people make presentations formal that they were forced to deliver fertilizer, Mr. Speaker, in a conduit that has resulted in Kenyans being sold fake fertilizer? How can we see nothing wrong with it? And we are happy that the Minister of Agriculture is today sitting in office, sitting pretty, when he is responsible for the mess of the sale of counterfeit fertilizer. If the Lord Almighty can speak to CS Linturi should resign at the end of my speech. He's not fit to be a minister of agriculture. How do you sell fake fertilizer to the same people who voted for you? Even if we want to get rich quickly, then let us work a little bit hard. You cannot get rich simply by mixing donkey stool.
What is the point of order, Senator Kathuri?
Honorable Speaker, you know, we must be very responsible sometimes when even prosecuting our debates. I want to know whether Senator Khalwale has that evidence in incriminating the CS agriculture, because it's an investigation which is ongoing, Honorable Speaker, and also where he sits, it does not sell fertilizer directly or supply to the people of Kenya. So, Mr. Speaker, because the CS cannot be able to appear to be in this floor, the Senator Bonny should not use the privilege that he has just to soil, to marine, to soil names of other Kenyans, Mr. Speaker. And if he has evidence, he should table to you. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Senator Bonny, you
Mr.
either
Speaker.
substantiate or withdraw that particular statement.
Mr. Speaker, it was Dr. Martin Luther King who said that if you are accused of breaking the law, when the law you are accused to be breaking is a bad law, then that is the highest respect of the law. Yes, the Deputy Speaker is right. I'm out of order. But the law that makes what I'm doing to be out of order is a bad law, and therefore my defying it is the greatest respect of law. I therefore withdraw those remarks, Mr. Speaker. I therefore, Mr. Speaker, withdraw those remarks. And I tell the Deputy Speaker, it's on the way, it's coming. The Senate Agriculture Committee is seized of this matter. In the National Assembly is seized of this matter. In fact, this weekend they are in Kakamega. They are on the case. The report will come and I'll be vindicated. Mr. Speaker, I say these things because, forget about the minister. I say these things because if you go to a place like Kandui in Bungoma, where Senator Edwin Sifuna comes from, there is this woman who has got 1 acre of land, and she's a mamamboga. For her to raise 2,500 out of selling vegetables, enough to buy fertilizer to plant that 1 acre, is very tight. So when she succeeds, and then we should change them through what we call in Kiluya mafwenyi, Mr. Speaker, is corruption. Mr. Speaker, it's very unfortunate. I hope, in the fullness of time, that we will serve the people of Kenya. It's a privilege for all of us, wherever we are, elected. It doesn't matter which office. Once you are elected, it's a privilege for you to be there, because those people had an option to elect the man or woman you defeated. Tell me who, including the president, was elected and opposed in this country. Mr. Speaker, I support this initiative by Senator Latama. Thank you very much.
Now we are continuing this final discussion, but just a quick request. For those who are watching and you have not yet subscribed, please consider subscribing. To our returning subscribers, I must say thank you so much. And again, to all our viewers, please give this video a thumbs up. Thank you so much, and back to this discussion. Now, we know that Bonny Khalwale and others are a part of the problem we are facing here because they campaigned for William Ruto, UDA, and the Kenya Kwanza administration with all their brain, all their energy, all their resources, and everything and every opportunity they could get on their way. But beside this, when you discover you have made a mistake, one of the good things you should do is that exactly what Bonny Khalwale is doing. You rather then call a spade, but not a big spoon. So Khalwale has decided that he will not betray doctors by calling a spade a big spoon. No. For him, it's clear that doctors should be in hospital, and those who should sort out this mess, it is this government to listen to doctors. I've seen even someone trying to share one of the proposals that Moses Stureh was pushing for in one of the WhatsApp groups. And in that proposal, they are now They are now calling for a meeting. The date is there, and the discussion is all about moving from permanent contracts to casual now. The issue of short-term contracts comes in. Renewable contracts comes in. It was all because they want to threaten doctors. But Khalwale is not for that. He is wondering why Nakhumicha is working when doctors are not in hospital. She must resign and go. Why is Ruto sitting pretty in office when doctors are not working? Ruto, in equal measure, in my view, he must resign, as Bonny Khalwale has asked Mithika Linturi to resign. Why are governors using this opportunity to threaten doctors? Niliona wengine hata yule anatembea watawe anaanguka mtiani, anasema anatoa madaktari kule Tanzania, Uganda. Yes, he might be talking about defending the patients by making sure that they have a doctor in the hospital. But above all, yes, we understand that they have a very small budget which they cannot do anything extra beyond what they have been given. But you should be putting this blame direct to William Ruto without any fear. Lakini asituambie mambo ya kuleta madaktari kutoka Uganda. So governors have a role to play here to ensure that doctors are in hospital. Nakhumicha, instead of attending funerals, because our own beloved people died in hospital when there was no doctor to treat them, she should be in hospital trying to find a way on which doctors will be back on duty. Sio kuja kucheka kwa matanga ambayo tumepoteza watu wetu kwa sababu wamekosa matibabu hospitalini kwa vile hakuna daktari kwa hospitali. Nadhani imeeleweka. The same thing to William Ruto. Come to the issue of fake fertilizer. I am telling you, we will have a big problem. Especially those who come from Western. Kuna wale walikuwa wamepanda panda. Watu Rift wale wengine wengi hawako wamepanda, ndio wanataka kupanda. Wengine sasa mbolea wamesema ikuwe compensated. Wengine wamejua kama wako na mbolea fake, hawako wameenda kwa shamba. What about those who had already gone to plant? Watafanya nini? We're going to have food crisis. There will be no food security in this country. Sasa wale wenye walikuwa wamekodisha mashamba, wamenunua mashamba kule nje, wapi? Walipanda na ile mbolea yenye ilikuwa inafaa, wakatuletea mawe. Kwa hivyo, wamejipanga kuja kutuletea mahindi ya kutoka kule kwenye wamepanda, in the name of importation, and they will be the biggest beneficiary. So, you see, they are robbing from us in two ways. Number one, giving us fake fertilizer so that we have no harvest. Secondly, then you have a chance to use the fertilizer that we were supposed to get to do your planting outside the country elsewhere and in the country. Then you make a harvest and you come and sell it to us. Highway robbery. Khalwale is telling Mithika Linturi to resign. That's the truth. So it is good sometimes, even when you are in the government side, say the truth and be the best advisor of the president. We can now trust that Bonny Khalwale can tell Ruto the truth if it comes to the issue of kana watu chini waambie ukweli. But Nakhumicha can't say the truth. Khalwale is talking about doctors because he's one of them also. He knows what it means being in hospital. Wale watu online degrees hawaelewi. And that's the message from Dr. Bonny Khalwale, the Kakamega Senator. I don't know your views, but let us read in the comment section to continue with this discussion. Thank you so much and see you in our next video.